7 days, 1,200 miles, one car. And one question that every BMW fan, every performance car enthusiast, and every person considering spending $120,000 on a family sedan needs answered right now. Is the 2026 BMW M5, the most powerful M5 ever built in the 49-year history of this legendary nameplate, actually worth it as a daily driver? Or is it a $120,000 compromise that is too fast for the road and too soft for the track? Welcome back to UC Car Review. I am your host, and today we are doing something we have never done before on this channel. I did not just review this car in a parking lot. I did not drive it for 20 minutes and call it done. I daily drove the 2026 BMW M5 for 7 consecutive days. Grocery runs, school pickups, highway commutes, mountain roads, and one very memorable 4 a.m. freeway run where I may have briefly discovered what 180 miles per hour feels like on an empty road. I kept notes every single day, and today I am giving you the complete, unfiltered, honest truth about this car. No paid partnership, no sponsored content, just 7 days of real driving and real observations. Let's start from the beginning. Let's begin with what you see. Because the 2026 M5 is the most visually aggressive production M5 BMW has ever put on a showroom floor. BMW's M division spent 3 years redesigning every exterior element that separates the M5 from the standard 5 Series. The front bumper is completely unique to the M5, with 4 large air intakes instead of 2, flanked by M-specific aero elements that channel air directly to the front brake cooling ducts and the front radiators. This is not decoration. Wind tunnel testing confirmed these intakes reduce front brake temperatures by 18% compared to the previous generation at track speeds. The M5 sits 8 mm lower than a standard 5 Series on its M-specific adaptive suspension. The front track is 35 mm wider. The rear track is 20 mm wider. These are not small numbers. They fundamentally change the proportions of the car, giving it the wide, planted stance that distinguishes an M car from every angle. Isle of Man green metallic, the color on the car you see right now, is an M heritage color that BMW brought back for 2026. It is exclusive to M models only. Under different lighting conditions, it shifts from deep forest green to bright metallic emerald. In direct sunlight, it is genuinely one of the most spectacular automotive paint finishes I have ever seen in person. It adds $595 to the price. It is worth every single cent. Sit in the driver's seat of the 2026 M5, and BMW sends you an immediate, unambiguous message. This car was designed for one person, the driver. Everything else is secondary. The M-specific steering wheel is slightly smaller in diameter than a standard 5 Series wheel, intentional, for quicker inputs and sharper feedback. The red Moan and M2O buttons on the wheel are programmable memory buttons that store your complete preferred driving configuration. Suspension setting, throttle response, steering weight, exhaust mode, even the display layout, and recall it instantly with a single button press. On track day, press Moan and the car transforms in 0.2 seconds. Back in traffic, press M2O and it softens immediately. The merino leather sport seats are a masterpiece of automotive ergonomics. Heated, ventilated, with massage function and 20-way electrical adjustment. The side bolsters automatically tighten when the car detects lateral G-forces above a certain threshold, meaning in a hard corner, the seat physically grips you harder. You feel the car communicating with your body before your brain has processed what is happening. The green contrast stitching throughout the interior, on the seats, the steering wheel, the door cards, creates a visual connection between the exterior color and the interior environment. It sounds like a small detail, but it makes the inside of this car feel intentional, cohesive, and genuinely special every single time you open the door. The 2026 BMW M5 runs BMW's iDrive 9 operating system, the most advanced, most capable, and most genuinely useful infotainment system BMW has ever produced. And after 7 days of daily use, I can tell you it is also one of the best systems in any car at any price point. Full stop. The BMW curved display combines a 12.3-inch digital driver cluster with a 14.9-inch central touchscreen in one seamless curved glass panel. The driver cluster in M5 specification shows real-time performance data that goes far beyond speed and RPM. You get live G-force readings, tire temperature indicators, torque vectoring visualization showing exactly how power is being distributed between each wheel in real time, and a lap timer accurate to 1/100th of a second. The central screen runs iDrive 9, which BMW completely rebuilt from the ground up. Response time is instant, genuinely, measurably faster than the previous generation. The natural language voice assistant now understands full conversational sentences. I said, "I want it warmer in the back but cooler up front," and it adjusted both zones simultaneously without me touching a single button. The head-up display projects a 70-inch equivalent virtual image onto the windscreen, showing navigation arrows, speed limit warnings, speed, and in sport mode, gear indicator and shift lights. Everything you need, always in your eyeline, always. Over-the-air updates mean this system gets smarter after you buy it, with BMW pushing new features and improvements continuously. This technology does not feel like it belongs in a $120,000 car. It feels like it belongs in something that costs significantly more. Under the hood of the 2026 BMW M5 sits what BMW M calls the S68, a 4.4-liter twin-turbocharged V8 engine that represents the most significant engineering achievement in M5 history. And in 2026, BMW added something that divided the M community deeply when announced: a 48-volt mild hybrid system. Let me explain exactly what this means and why it actually makes the car better, not worse. The S68 V8 on its own produces 585 horsepower. The 48-volt mild hybrid electric motor adds an additional 142 horsepower and 184 pound-feet of torque, bringing the combined system total to 727 horsepower and 738 pound-feet of torque. But the hybrid system does more than add power numbers. It completely eliminates turbo lag. The electric motor provides instant torque from 0 RPM while the turbos are spooling, filling the power curve from the very first moment you press the accelerator. The result is throttle response that feels naturally aspirated, immediate, linear, perfectly progressive. The 48-volt system also enables cylinder deactivation. At light throttle on the highway, the V8 shuts down 4 of its 8 cylinders completely, running as a smooth 4-cylinder, cutting fuel consumption dramatically. BMW officially rates the M5 at 15 mpg city and 21 mpg highway. In my 7-day test, primarily highway driving in comfort mode, I averaged 24.3 mpg. In a 727 horsepower performance sedan, that number genuinely surprised me. The engineering balance BMW achieved with this powertrain is remarkable. 0 to 60 miles per hour, 3.4 seconds. That is the official BMW figure, and it is accurate. I verified it using a Draghi GPS performance meter during my test. My best run was 3.38 seconds in launch control mode on a warm, dry morning. For context, that is faster than a Porsche 911 Carrera S in a car with 4 full-size doors, a proper trunk, and room for 5 adults. The xDrive all-wheel drive system in the M5 is unlike any other AWD system on the market. In its default mode, it behaves as a rear-biased AWD system, sending the majority of torque to the rear while the fronts assist during acceleration. In 4WD Sport mode, the rear bias increases further for a more playful, driver-focused character. And for experienced drivers on a closed track, 2WD mode disengages the front axle entirely, turning the M5 into a pure rear-wheel drive 727 horsepower drift machine. The M Servotronic steering is perfectly calibrated at every speed, light and easy in slow city driving, progressively heavier and more communicative as speed increases. On a mountain road at 7/10 pace, the M5 feels as natural and connected as a sports car half its size. The front end responds immediately to steering inputs. The rear follows obediently. The transition between understeer and oversteer is progressive and totally predictable. This is a car that rewards a skilled driver with genuine feedback, and that is increasingly rare at any price point in the modern automotive world. Here is what nobody tells you in a typical car review, because most reviewers drive the car for 30 minutes in ideal conditions on an empty road. I drove the M5 for 7 real days, and I am going to tell you exactly what I found. Day 1, Monday morning, Los Angeles commute, stop and go traffic for 45 minutes. The M5 in comfort mode is genuinely, surprisingly comfortable. The adaptive suspension absorbs urban road imperfections well. Visibility from the driver's seat is excellent. The parking sensors and 360-degree camera make navigating tight urban spaces completely stress-free. The rear seat has enough legroom for adults, though the sloping roofline reduces headroom for passengers over 6 feet tall. Day 3, grocery run, hardware store, school pickup. Trunk holds 17.7 cubic feet of cargo. Rear doors open wide. The interior noise level in comfort mode is genuinely quiet enough for phone calls without using earphones. The wireless phone charger works perfectly. The M5 as a practical daily car actually works. It is not a compromise, it genuinely works. Day 5, canyon roads after work, switch to Sport Plus. The M5 transforms completely. The exhaust opens, the suspension sharpens, the throttle snaps. This is a completely different car in a completely different mood. The same car that carried groceries on Tuesday morning is now terrifying mountain corners at speeds that should require a racing license. Day 7, my honest conclusion. The 2026 BMW M5 is the best daily driver I have ever tested in 11 years of reviewing cars. Bar none. $119,300. That is the as-tested price of the 2026 BMW M5 you have been watching throughout this review. With the Isle of Man green paint, the carbon package, the M driver's package, and the Bowers & Wilkins diamond sound system. Standard M5 starts at $106,500. Let's talk competition honestly. The Mercedes AMG E63 BMW's most natural rival costs $117,900 and makes 603 horsepower. It is a magnificent car. But the M5's 727 horsepower hybrid system, its superior technology, and its more driver-focused dynamics give it a clear edge in almost every measurable category. The Cadillac CT5-V Blackwing at $91,490 is an extraordinary car for the money. 668 horsepower. Manual gearbox available, tremendous driver engagement. For pure driving feel per dollar, the Cadillac is the choice. But the BMW's technology, refinement, and premium feel are on a higher level. My final verdict after 7 days and 1,200 miles. The 2026 BMW M5 is the greatest performance sedan ever built. Not just the greatest M5, the greatest performance sedan. Full stop. It does everything. It does everything well. It does most things brilliantly. Comfort on Monday, devastation on Saturday, practicality every single day. Is it overpriced? No. For what it delivers across every dimension of automotive performance, technology, practicality, and refinement, $120,000 is fair. Is it the ultimate daily driver? Yes. The most enthusiastic, most emphatic yes I have ever given to that question. UC Car Review 2026 BMW M5, 9.4 out of 10. Highest recommendation of the year. Subscribe, because next week we have something that might be even more impressive. See you then.